Welcome everyone, and welcome Martin from Belgium and Loylymasters. Welcome to the Sweat It Out interview with sauna legends. I've been looking forward to this, so thank you for coming.
Okay.
You are truly one of the sauna legends in our community, having been in so many different roles in our community, both as a performing saunamaster, doing really well, as a judge, as a jury, also as a sponsor and a supporter of the community financially, but especially maturing the organization throughout the last decade, more or less. So I'm really interested to hear the details of your story. Could you share a little bit with the people who doesn't know you already, who you are, where you're from, and how you became a saunamaster?
Okay, yes, I can. So, yeah, I'm Martijn. I'm from Belgium. I'm 36 years old, and I've been a sauna master since 2010. I did a lot of competitions, national, international. So I was a 3-time Belgian champion, 1 time in single, 2 times in double. I did 2 aufguss VMs, 1 in single and 2 times in team, 3 times in team, by the way.
Wow.
And yeah, at this moment I'm the president of the jury for aufguss VM, and I'm also training new judges in aufguss VM. So I'm very very active in aufguss VM, helping to professionalize the whole organization.
Wow, that's amazing. That's an amazing resume to be able to throw out. I just recently spoke with Kim from the Danish Sauna Association, who recently joined your training seminar just after we left in Saitama back in February.
Fantastic.
All right. So how did you get started as a sauna master? What got you into it?
So yeah, in 2009, I visited a friend in Finland, and my friend in Finland, he had a little sauna where he had to. There was a place where no electricity, no running water, no nothing. There was only the place, the forests, a lake, and a sauna. And there I experienced really for the first time really good sauna. And then when I came back to Belgium, I wanted to prolong that experience. So I searched on the internet where I could do good sauna, and there opened up a new sauna, very near to my place, like 10 minutes from my place, and that was Termen in Roeselare in Belgium. Known from, of course, the competitions that we did there. And I was there, and they did aufguss there, and I'd never seen it before. So there was somebody doing very basic aufguss, and I was at the bar, and the owner was also there, and we started talking and saying, yeah, this aufguss, it was really, really nice. And he says, yeah, I'm looking for extra people to do this. And I'm like, yeah, that would be great. And he says, do you want to do that? I'm like, yeah, why not? And he says, okay, you can do the next one at 3. I'm like, what? So here's the bucket with water, here's a spoon, here's a towel. You can do the next one at 3. And so I never did an aufguss before. I had a bunch of people in that sauna, and I just did something. I just did something. I was there in that sauna for like a half hour, preparing myself mentally. I will first do this and then do that and then do that. And so that's how I got started. So no education, no whatever. I just started. Yeah.
I really like that, because I think that's one of the places where the passion, I mean, if you meet aufguss in that way, like, wow, what was that? That was a totally new experience. It ignites something in you, right?
The whole world went open, and then you start to see the things that it does to people, the smiles on their faces, and the experience that they have. And then, you know, you start thinking, it's like, hey, maybe I can do this, and maybe I can do that. I can use this music, I can do that, I can use this theme. And of course, I was an aromatherapist. So yeah, I used my essential oils to do these experiences. And yeah, I used them more and more, and people were more and more attracted to it. And that is also how Loylymasters got started. People picked up on that, saw that what they were using were chemicals, and what I was using was essential oils. And they just start asking, hey, how do you work with these? How do you do that? Because this is a complete different fragrance experience of what we have. And that's how I also got in contact with Terren Boeslo, for example, in Holland, in Warwaters in Belgium. Terminaire, of course, was my home base. And this is kind of how it started for me as well, and how it started with Loylymasters. I started to teach some people how it was to work with essential oils and so on. Yeah.
Yeah, and to put that into context for people who is completely unaware of what's going on, then because at least from our local sauna community in Denmark, most of the sweating goes on in volunteer saunas, in winter bathing clubs or associations, where you'll have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 700 members of one closed private sauna. Yeah. And then they will have a few people inside that are dedicated to this kind of ritual and does it on their own terms and in their own passion. And then they have learned it while traveling to Finland, or met someone in Peru and brought home a sweat lodge ritual or something like that, right?
Can I have just a moment?
Of course.
I just cooked and my cat jumped on the kitchen and he was going into my pots, and he knows it. He really knows it.
Fair enough.
Fantastic. I see.
Cheeky bastard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that is completely different from the big spa and wellness industry that you get to experience out in the world, especially in Central Europe.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have spas. I mean, the biggest spa in Europe is Therme Erding, 10,000 people simultaneously can experience something in one of the 5 domes. The biggest sauna, soon to be finished in Poland at Palak Saturna with almost 300 people, is radically different. And the culture back then, and to a large degree still is, using a chemical synthesis, what would you call a chemical synth of smells. So you can get a watermelon smell, you can get a banana smell, you can get a eucalyptus smell, and it all smells of it. But you can, if you have a nose and you know how to put signals into your brain in the right categories, you can smell that there's something off or something sharp into it.
Well, the thing is that if you don't know any better, you believe that this is a smell. I, for example, had a woman a couple of years ago inside my sauna, and I did an aufguss with some essential oils, and one of them was lavender. And after my aufguss, I go outside, and you talk to the people, ask how was it, how do you enjoy it, and so on. And there's like one lady that says to me, look, I really enjoyed it, but your lavender smells really, really, really strange. Lavender smells very strange. Yeah, she said, the lavender in my car smells completely different. And she was talking about the little tree that hung in her car. But this woman believed that this was a lavender smell. And so we are being tricked all the time by, modern industry to believing that certain smells smell like that. And you kind of program that. People think that this lavender smell that comes out of electronic devices like Airwick or in the car, that this is true lavender. They smell pine, they smell mint, they smell all these kind of things in the air, lemon. But this is just a synthetic version.
Substitute. Yeah.
And this is not the real deal. And so we are getting kind of disconnected with our true natural fragrance experience, And yeah, it is a perfect opportunity for sauna masters. It's a beautiful opportunity to get this reconnection again, to reprogram the nose of all of our sauna guests into what nature really smells. And this, you know, this experience prolongs because people, it reconnects people with nature, but it also can give people a chance to explore nature more. They have like this natural experience where they're getting reconnected, where they maybe go, you know, saying, hey, you know, on Sunday, instead of staying home here, you know, let's go to a forest and have a walk, or let's do this, or let's go to a botanical garden, or let's go. So this reconnection on working with essential oil is for me very important. And this is just a small base of what we are doing as aufguss masters.
I personally got introduced to using essential oils from the beginning, and before I even met sauna infusions, I had essential oils as a part of a tool set. And my approach to it, or the one I was taught starting out, was the base, the notes, that you have the top, the middle, and the base. And when I got your first course, the Loyly level 1 oil course, the depth and the extent of information based on similar tool sets, but with the whole history and with the science behind it, that just blew my mind as a sauna master.
Yeah, exactly.
And your approach.
What we are trying to do is making it as easy as possible. You know, my first courses that I did, or the first teaching that I did, was really based on aromatherapy. And, you know, I found out in my first 2 courses that, you know, people and aufguss masters, they are not aromatherapists. They are aufguss masters, and the whole aromatherapy is a part of what they are doing. So I cannot expect from aufguss masters that they go through all of the books that I did, that they go through all of the courses that are available, because it's, you know, some people are very interested in that and they go deeper in that. But for a lot of aufguss masters, it needs to be very, very easy, very hands-on, very quick, and it needs to be so as simple as possible. And this is what we did with Loylymasters. We created a whole concept based on biochemistry. So we looked at what are essential oils, how do they look like, how they're molecularly structured, and how can you make a structure in there that people easily can use it, easily can adapt it in their aufgusses. So I started to make the aroma chart with the colors. I started to create the big charts with, okay, you have this oil, this is what it does, this is the strength, this is the note, and, you know, if you want to drop it, here are the drops. So making like one poster that has everything on it. Okay, I'm an aufguss master, what do I need? I need an oil that is relaxing. How should I dose it? When should I place it? And in what order should I place it? And then the last thing is, okay, how many drops do I need? So these are the basics of what an aufguss master wants to know. And this is what we have done so many years, going through all of these books and just creating charts for aufguss masters to make it as easy as possible. And of course now, with our latest tool, the app, which we have been working on for so long,
which is an amazing tool, by the way.
Yeah, but we spent so much time on that. A big gratitude to Frank from Germany, who also is the base of this whole app, and really did so much work in that, just to provide an easy to use tool. Everybody has a cell phone, so you know, it has all the information that it needs. You can create aufgusses, you can share aufgusses with each other. All the charts are in there, the course books are in there, all the oils information. You can search for oils. So it's really it's such an amazing tool. We have it now in 8 languages already translated as well. So yeah, I'm so happy with the results. We're still working on details, but of course, that's with technology. You always have to upgrade it, and you always have to think of new tools. And I'm sometimes giving Frank a lot of headaches, but you know, he manages so well. So I'm very grateful for that.
I truly enjoy the basic version because I got to use that tool before I got the course, because it's freely available.
Yeah.
Loylymaster app downloadable at App Store and Android, which is Google Play, and it has this plant info library where, and I'll tell you a story from I think we were in Tamina with Benoit and Mara, and I didn't have the flow. You know the flow. I need this, that, and the other, but I couldn't feel it. And just in the stressful moment, just being able to whip out the app 5 minutes before. Yeah, you were there that weekend, and then using the app, finding the info, and then just being able to use that in a sauna immediately as a part of the information flow.
Yeah,
Or when we do events, and Marete, I'm like, pick some oils for me. Then she whips out the app and says, what do you want? And then I throw out a name or a note, or because you can search for different filters.
yeah,
So if my approach is the note system, then I can go through that. If it's more based on effect, I can go through that. And then she dishes out 2 oils, and I have a few things to say. So it's a huge time saver. It's a huge life saver, and it makes me look more professional. So thank you very much for that contribution, which you will also get full access to once you've been to the course, and that is with extended course materials,
yeah, exactly.
and
So
further in-depth info.
We gave a free version for people to use, and that's very easy. You know, you have all the oils, and you can just have already a search in them, and you see some basic information, what you need to know. And every time you do a course, we give you the tools through the app. So every time you learn something new in our courses, you get also this knowledge inside our app to use. The course books become available, the charts become available, and so every time you learn, your app is growing. So that was our whole idea behind it's a stimulant to have this compact information. What do you know, we were thinking, what are you with so much information that you don't know exactly how to work with? So we kind of give you all the time the information that we have taught you and tools that you can use. Yeah.
I would love to dive into depth with you surrounding aromatherapy and where we are heading in terms of both science and the influence on our immune system. And it seems like there is a tightening of the struggle between the two sides of science. The science that says the chemicals are more beneficial because they have less adverse reactions, and then the other side that says, but now we can prove why it's good and how it's good. And it seems like that sort of is tightening. Maybe it's just because I'm focusing more on it, but I also believe that it's because the essential oil industry, which is now a plus $7 billion industry a year, is exploding.
Yeah.
However, continue.
Well, when you say indeed, you have aromatherapy and you have aromatherapy. There are so many different models of aromatherapy. You have the English model, you have the French model, you have a German model, you have an American model, and each have their own benefits. You know, the French model more goes inside into taking undiluted oils inside. Then the English model is more careful, and they're saying, okay, you know, we need to dilute everything with oils. So when you put them on the skin or when you take them in, then the German model is more about inhalation, and then you have the American model that is like taking a little bit of everything. Now there's a whole new model that is well popping up for the last years, and that's the evidence-based model. Which combines all of the old protocols and all of the old testimonies and all of the old known remedies on essential oils and combining them with scientific studies. And this is truly unbelievable how many studies there already have been done on essential oils, on the human system, and, you know, perfectly proving their value to the human system. And for example, I have one of my favorite books. You see me probably a lot on Instagram, but this book, Medical Essential Oils, this is a book. It is my holy Bible, and it contains, only this book contains more than 6,000 different studies on essential oils. So everything that's been written here is scientifically proven. So there's no hocus pocus or no, because a lot of people associate aromatherapy still with
alternative treatments.
While you know, this magnificent book explains the whole scientific part behind it. So yeah, this is truly amazing, and this is what I based everything on that we do within Loylymasters. Yeah.
Fabulous. And you have a web shop and a website, and there's a Facebook group, both for the brand and for the Loylymasters who have attended the courses, so they can continue exchanging. It's a huge global network by now.
Exactly.
And
So
I'll post all the links down in the comments.
That is really our intention, also to be a community-based and a sharing-based company. You know, I also learn every day from a lot of people, and when you stop learning, you stop progressing. And this tool, we have also the Facebook group, the Loylymaster Exchange group, where all of the people that done our courses are inside, and there you can easily share things. You can, hey, I need this, or I have this, or I have this question, or and people answer immediately on it. So it's helping each other further. So it doesn't stop with the course itself; it goes much longer. Yeah.
Well, as I said, I hope we can get to dive deeper into all of these conversations in the future. I think we could do a very nice mini-series as an inspiration for people to dive deeper into both the courses, but also the self, because it's also a self, not personal development, but it's an evolution, self-evolution as a sauna master, to dive into these different things, oils and herbs and smokes and all of the different tools. But it very fast, it becomes a huge and complex thing. And if you haven't been hit by the spark immediately, and maybe come from a more professional angle, you've been hired as a spa instructor, and now you have to do aufguss also as that a part of your job description. If you're completely new and just started out feeling the enthusiasm and the passion for sweating like this, what would be your recommendation or your advice?
Well, my first recommendation is that you need to find your spark. So what drives you? You know, I have people that love the waving, and they love the show aufguss, or they love classical aufguss, or they love to work with herbs, or they're really into meditation or sound therapy and so on. So just inside aufguss is not just aufguss. There are so many types of aufguss, and you need to find, first of all, what drives you and get deeper into that. And if you find your spark, then you know, just go for that one. I see that a lot of how you say it, saunas create a whole plan where aufguss masters are forced, for example, to do show aufguss while they don't like it. Well, that will shine through the people. You know, you need to let the aufguss masters do what they love to do, and this will drive them into making extraordinary experiences. So that's the first thing. Find your own style inside aufguss. The second thing is, what I would definitely recommend is, don't stay at your own spa. Go to see competitions, go to see events, go to see other people, because when you participate, even as a national or an international event, you learn so much things. You see new experiences, you get inspired, you meet a lot of new people. And this is actually where I also have grown so much I started in Terminair, and then I started to go to competition. The first year, I just went looking at the competition in Holland. And the second year, I started to compete in there. And you learn so many people, and they teach you so many things that the curve of learning suddenly goes like this, and it goes up, and you get inspired in such a beautiful way. So even, you know, if you go to a competition and you win or you don't win, it is always a win if you go there with an attitude that you're there to learn. You see people going home at competitions crying because of the beautiful experience that they had, and the things that they learn, and they come home and they're so inspired that they started to do a lot of other things as well. So that would be my second recommendation. Don't stay at your own spa. Go to see different events, different competitions. Compete in one, because competing in a competition, it's getting out of your comfort zone. It's just stimulates your creativity, forcing you to do things that is greater
Right
than
way.
you normally do. Yeah. So that's my second.
So cultivate your passion and your skill, and then look for inspiration. Get out of your comfort zone.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, I'm very happy, Martijn, that you wanted to do this with me. Thank you very much. I hope that everybody who tuned in got as much insight out of it as I always do when we are having these conversations. And I'm looking forward to having more of these in the future.
Thank you very much, man.
All right. See you around.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. This is Anders from Nordic Health and Living. Tune in every Sunday for more sweated out interviews with sauna legends. Coming up is Rob Kaiser, Lasse Eriksson, Lukas Tuszewski. Every Sunday for the foreseeable future. I'll sweat you later.